Grubs Canada.
How ideal is that?
With a specific and structured business plan, we believe we can achieve these goals.
We're here today to present you with a future plan for Grub Canada. I'm Taylor.
I'm Tika.
I'm Megan.
I'm Anita.
And I'm Nathan.
This is just an overview of what our presentation will look like.
To go on the outlook. Basically, the whole mission for Grubs Canada is to provide another way or an outlet for local restaurants and mom-and-pop restaurants, basically, to really get into like the whole business. And basically, Grubs Canada provides an emphasis on top quality service and convenience for the customers who really want to go into local restaurants and eat there again. The vision for Grubs Canada is basically we want to see Grubs Canada be like the best, most top-friendly user website for paying and ordering online. And basically by promoting the whole expansion of Grubs Canada all over Canada, especially with the cost ratings in the community, we can do that very beneficial.
Alright, so let's get started with marketing. So I'm going to touch base upon the target markets which we're focusing on. The first one is the overwhelmed scholar, which is basically a cute way of saying that university or college students who are busy studying and they can't balance the whole making food, cooking for themselves, and doing so much schoolwork at the same time. So that's one of our major target markets, and another one would be a tourist. So people on the go who are traveling to remote locations, like tiny locations. They don't know what kind of restaurants are there, what kind of food is offered. So Grub Canada would be very helpful to have in a situation like that. The last one is a soccer mom, which is basically working parents who work hard 9 to 5 every day. When they come home, they're exhausted. They don't really have time to think of, new, healthy, creative meals for their kids because, kids don't like eating the same types of food every day.
Now, there are two types of customers for Grub Canada. There are the customers who actually purchase the food, and then there are the restaurants who list on the website. So it is very important to include the restaurants in the marketing. We need to find restaurants to continue to build the listings up, which will in turn bring more customers to the website. So we want to put an emphasis on local restaurants that people might not necessarily know about. Where food chains, people will be like, oh, I know Pizza, I know Krabby Joe's, that's all easy. But the local restaurants who are really good and want to get their name out there, they want people to come that may not know about it. So that's what we really want to attract for Grub Canada.
We believe the best market for Grub Canada to expand into is Montreal. This is because it fits our target market really well. There are 6 universities in Montreal, so there are tons of university students. And the tourism market is also huge. There are also over 5,000 restaurants in Montreal, so there's tons of restaurants for Grub Canada to pick up. I'll now pass it on to Ruminka, who will talk about brand elements.
In addition to what Tika and Taylor was saying was really getting to our target market, if we look at the whole brand image of Grubs Canada, like looking at the logo itself, previously without really knowing what Grubs Canada is, but they're looking at the logo, like with the whole Canadian national team is promoting with the Canadian league. And then Grubs Canada specifically, like the whole Grub, we would really necessarily make that connection to food right away, but because it has the whole cutlery and like the plates, you can make that connection. And because like the whole, logo is in connection with the website itself, it promotes the brand once again and makes it easier for the target market to really get onto the website. And I will now pass it on.
Okay, so we have some ideas for promotional offers, and the first one.
Our first idea is to make flyers and posters to put around university campuses, all in the areas where Grub Canada currently operates, to encourage university students to purchase food from Grub Canada.
And another really good, cool idea that we had was sponsored events. And specifically, we thought, local restaurants or other places which are already listed on Grub Canada, they should have events like open mic nights or band nights, to which university students can come and then they get familiarized with what kind of services that Grub Canada offers. And we were thinking that we could offer some incentives, like maybe free T-shirts with the logos or coffee mugs or stuff like that to really get them into it.
We've also created an online commercial that we're going to show you now.
enter your address, choose the restaurant, order your meal. That's all it takes. It's so easy. Choose your town, city, enter your address here, and then you hit find restaurants. It gives you a wide variety of restaurants in the area with all their menus. Super simple, easy, quick, fast, and convenient.
That's with this video. Basically, one of our target markets were like the busy soccer moms in a sense, parents, and what Taylor was kind of portraying was like a busy dad. So like when you're when you're working, and then when you think of your kids, it's like, oh wait, I have to feed them. So it's really fast and convenient, especially for working parents in the workplace. They can quickly like put in their order, and then they can just go run and finally get to their kids. So because they have to.
Now for the operations. This was just a quick little graph of what we assume the operations might look like. It started with the people working at the company, into software development, which leads to the site, customers, money to the restaurant, and then the restaurant has to pay the 10% commission back to the site. And then also for the other side of the customers, there's the sales staff, which gets restaurants for Grub Canada, which increases customers, which makes more money.
Which is always good.
Which is always great. What we really wanted to look at was, for the efficiency, was the site. Now, we wanted to develop an online payment option because Grub Canada does not currently offer that. And as people mentioned, it might be inconvenient for the restaurants to have to pay back, for Grub Canada to have to individually get the commissions from each company, like they have to pay out what they receive. So in order to do this, we figured if we could develop a banking system where the 10% commission would automatically be deposited in Grub Canada's accounts and the rest would automatically be deposited in the restaurant's accounts. So then everybody receives their money right away, so everybody's happy, it increases cash flow. But in order to have the online payment option, you need increased security. You don't want customers' payment option or payment information being taken or hacked, like for example PS3. So
Yeah.
that's a very important issue to be looked at. And you also need the receipt option, so customers get the receipt, they can show the restaurants that they've already paid, and then it's very quick and convenient. And then I want this to be an optional decision. Customers don't have to use this. They can pay the restaurant, but it can be either way.
So Grub Canada is in a growing state, but it's also very important that we maintain financially successful when we're in that state. Yes, you can take risks into marketing and increase your management and improve your service, but it's also important that you can still achieve a net income, because even if those risks that you've taken aren't effective, then you can go back, you still made money at the time, and you can go and try something else that perhaps let you grow more successfully. When we just look at some of the numbers here, part of our commissions was $220,000 from the trade show, and in our expenses we had $70,000 into our marketing, which gave us an approximate net income of $76,000, and in the end gives a break-even point of $4.9 million in sales, which, using about $27 as the average per order, is about 3,500 orders created. And I'll pass it on to Taylor for a quick review.
So in this business plan, we outlined the outlook for the company, the marketing plan, operations, efficiency, and financing, and this is why we think our business plan would be successful for Grub Canada in the future.
I think one of the big things for me, in terms of posting flyers and posters on campus, there does tend to be a lot of limitations of like on-campus regulations and things in regards to advertising for external companies and external corporations looking to promote their services. So how do you intend to get around this? And do you think it's going to affect that aspect of your life?
We could talk to to universities to try to get permission to post posters, or we could also, instead of posting them on campus, post them in places like university students would typically go to, like maybe like bars or malls or something like that. And we could also possibly,
To go along with that too, we think that lots of universities would be very appreciative for the service. We think that they'd really buy into it because if you look at it, it's going to make the students' lives a lot easier, and how can a university not accept that opportunity?
I think one of the problems with that is that once you let one person in, then everybody's going to want to start promoting on campus, and then the entire university just going to become one big advertising hub. But I think your point was good about having it around other places, like other student, other places that students like go to, and then in the surrounding area. But kind of tying along that line as well, if you are going to post around campus, how are you, like, what kind of things can you do with your posters and your advertisements to really break through the clutter? Because they're getting bombarded with like hundreds of posters a day. So what are you going to do?
So to make them like stand out, you have to make them like unique, colorful, exciting for university students to look at.
I guess the reason for why I'm writing the claim with the whole flyers and posters, basically wanting to come up with a website and how we were going to say with like, I guess sponsored events, you know, like maybe like, I know around like universities there's always bars that so many universities go to, so having events there was like, you can basically maybe talk to the local restaurants and having sponsored events. I guess like when the university students go to the events and they see the flyers, they can make that connection, I guess. Maybe that might sort of attract some more.
My question is about the ordering for parents that were at work and things like that. Do you guys have a plan of having advanced ordering so that if I wanted to order the day before or that day, or is it just immediate that they're going to start making it as soon as I can?
Well, we didn't look at that option, but that would be a great option to have. You could set your time. That's a good point. But for sure, you could set a timeline for when you wanted your order. And I think if you had that option in a tab menu on the ordering service, that would be
I'm sure a lot of people
good
would go
idea.
for that. It would be a good idea.
Thanks.
Sorry.
Can you go back to the slide where you remember of that time? So that's like about 5,700,000 in sales. How many restaurants do you guys project to have that sales come like on your website in total?
Well,
Like registered with you?
registered right now, I think there's currently just over 600 restaurants.
Or is that number based on that many or like
Yeah,
projected
it's
to have
based
more?
on current.
Right. And I guess one other question is you guys are talking about like doing some like sponsorship events and getting
Yes.
people in. When doing those events, you guys ever considered any options of like at those events handing out some type of like coupon or some type of other promotional offer to get people to actually use the
Right.
website?
By incentive, it doesn't necessarily have to be like paraphernalia. What we meant was we just want to get the name out there, and by that we could, get something half priced or because you ordered within this time period or something like that, and that would be really effective for students especially.
My question, in terms of the numbers, do you guys include, and I know your biggest area in Montreal, do you guys include the idea of translating the website into...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we
Yes,
did.
yeah.
Totally forgot that.
That was like their biggest thing.
The website completely bilingual so that people have the option of having all the menus and everything in French because, Canada is a bilingual country and it should be offered. And because we want to expand to Montreal, that would be like a really, really important thing to do.
I just want one last question about this. So your break even is 35, 25 orders per week. So how does that compare to current orders right
It's
now?
a little bit under current orders right now.
Well, the orders have been increasing based on the graphs we were given. They've been increasing over the year as more people find out about it. So we put it near the top of the graph for per week orders, and based on the assumption that it will continue to increase as it has followed the trend.
So then theoretically you're in at break even, is what you're saying?
Well, we're saying that a number of orders here are what they are about right now.
Okay.